Greetings from a stream in Emsworth. I am feeling quite chipper this morning because I managed to get out of bed and go to the gym. So I basically had a cocktail of feel-good endorphins and serotonin for breakfast. And sleep and exercise tend to have a reciprocal relationship. So if you sleep well, you're more likely to wake up with the energy and self-control to go to the gym. But also if you regularly exercise, your body rewards you with lower stress levels and you tend to enter a deeper, more unbroken sleep. But what's the best time of day for exercise? Personally, I like to go in the morning because I find that my self-control wilts during the day and I'm less likely to actually turn up. But from a physical perspective, first thing in the morning is probably the most challenging time for exercise. Our body temperatures are at an all-time circadian low. That means our joint mobility is lower, glucose metabolism is lower, the blood flow to the muscles is lower and we're less alert. So it's really important to warm up first thing. On the plus side, if you exercise first thing or also early afternoon, it tends to have the effect on the body clock of actually pushing it forward. So you're more likely to feel tired at a reasonable time in the evening. And if you're a night owl trying to reset your body clock to early mornings, then morning exercise can be a really good stimulus for that. So what about the evenings? Well, in contrast, if you hit the gym after 7 p.m, you can expect your body clock to be pushed back so you feel less tired. But there may be some advantages for blood pressure. That's an aeroplane. I don't know if you can hear that. I'll keep going. So in last week's post, I talked about the advantages of taking blood pressure medication in the evening rather than the morning. And it might be for blood pressure specifically that there is an advantage to evening exercise. I found a small Brazilian study in 50 hypertensive patients, which found that those who did a regulated amount of exercise at 6 p.m. were more likely to show a blood pressure lowering effect over 10 weeks than those that did the same amount of exercise at 7 a.m. There have also been a few small studies which suggest that people who exercise in the evening may be more effective at building muscle mass, but that was in men and there was a definite shortage of studies in women. What is very clear is that if you exercise very vigorously in the evening, for example, if you do competitive sport, all of that adrenaline and the increase in your body temperature can really interfere with winding down afterwards and interfere with getting to sleep. So, what does that mean for the best time to exercise? Well, from a circadian perspective, the winner is probably late afternoon and early evening, something between 3 and 6 p.m. At that time, our circadian rhythm in strength and alertness is probably, for most people, at its peak. But the effects on things like endurance sports aren't that strong, so you might remember that Eliud Kipchoge's sub-2-hour marathon was actually run first thing in the morning. So for most of us, what does it mean? Well, the most important thing is probably consistency and making sure that you protect time for both sleep and exercise. But it is worth experimenting with different times of day to see when you're strongest, fastest, and most alert.